Dodgers fans, thanks for joining us. It's a huge week ahead, and to look back, we're also joined in studio, live with two stars from Disney, best friends whatever, Matthew and Benjamin Royer. So, let's go right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I love this song.
Great pick, guys.
I'm just waiting for Triple H to come in.
Yeah.
Welcome to AfterBuzz TV. This is Dodgers Wrap 360, and we are about to play the game. It's also 9/11, so before we get into anything, I just want to say we salute all the troops, everyone that's helped us stay free. We remember everything that happened on 9/11 15 years ago, and we never forget. So with that being said, thank you for joining us. My name is Michael Rippey. I'm your host, and I'm joined in studio by my co-hosts,
Hunter Marks.
Josh Kershaw.
And they can find you guys where on social media?
Huntsman on Instagram and Hunter_Marks on Twitter. Tweet me.
I am at Gersh13, Gersh, on both Instagram and Twitter.
And like I said, we have two Disney's guests here in studio on our couch. The twins, Benjamin Royer, Matthew Royer. What's up, guys?
Hi, how are you guys doing today?
We are very good. We're better now that you guys are with us. And you guys are currently in your second season of Best Friends Whatever.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
But we know you guys are Dodgers fans, so we're happy you're here.
Thank you.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. We're going to hear all about your thoughts. Let's start, because we have a huge show at the top, today's game.
Yeah, lots to discuss. Today's game was actually, unfortunately, a very forgettable game. Dodgers lost 3-0. Kenta Maeda with the loss. He actually didn't pitch too terribly. I think he had about 30 pitches through 3 innings, and then he started getting some trouble. The problem with today was the Dodgers weren't hitting. They managed 3 hits today. The first one coming in the 5th inning from Jock Peterson, a little grounder up the middle. They had no business getting through, but did. And that was pretty much it. I think they had runners in scoring position 1 time, and it really wasn't much of an effort.
They didn't look like they wanted to play.
No.
I think they're thinking of New York already. I think they looked past this game and had their, bright lights, big city coming up.
I think I was looking ahead to it the way I started this intro. That's right, though. But they lost today, but a 4-2 week, an exciting week. There was a lot that happened this week in the land of the Dodgers. Wouldn't you say so, guys?
Yeah. There was. This week was actually a really big week, including earlier this week with the sweep of the Diamondbacks.
That was nice. That was
was.
exciting. And a nice beating of Zach Greinke, former Dodger.
Oh, that was incredible.
Was it 5 home runs that game?
Yeah, 5 home
Yeah.
Oh my god, incredible.
And you guys both came in with your Dodgers gear. I love the Vin Scully shirt.
Yeah.
Legend. Before your time and of your time. Hey, if you guys are listening or watching, join us in our live chat. You can ask questions to Ben and Matthew. You can ask questions to us, talk about the Dodgers. So you can join us right now in our YouTube live chat. And also, at any point, feel free to join us on social media. Ask questions, comments to any of the Twitter handles that you've heard here, if it's now or later this week for this show or future shows. So let's talk about earlier this week, and Clayton Kershaw returned. A huge boost to not only the team for now, but moving forward in their possibilities for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Clayton's back. Great to have him back here. He pitched 3 innings, had 5 strikeouts. It was about 64, 65 pitches, and kind of just easing him back into the game, but really, really good to have him back there. Tough loss against Jose Fernandez, who, as we know, is one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. So that was a tough matchup for the guys, but, he'll find his way. And the playoffs coming around, we're going to need him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we were talking, Benjamin and Matthew, a little bit before the show about, it was good to see him around the strike zone.
Yeah.
So,
It was, for sure.
He didn't walk anybody, which is what he's been doing all season.
Yeah.
Not walking
Wasn't
people.
a shocker to me.
Got hit a little bit, but nothing too bad. Like, he wasn't rocked. He just,
5 strikeouts in 3 innings.
yeah,
Take it.
5 hits.
Yeah.
What was it? You guys might know this. What's his whip this year? It's under 1.
It's under 1 for sure. It's like 0.93.
Which is incredible.
Rather, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was nice to see that. It was nice to see him get some strikeout. He did strike out the side in the second inning.
Second inning.
So it was nice to see that.
There was just one thing I was thinking about is I feel like if he went 1 more, it would have saved the bullpen, because you also got to think about who's going to be available for the next 2 games in Miami and who's going to be available against the Yankees. And I thought if Kersh went 1 more inning, we would have at least 1 more reliever available for the next 2 games.
It's a great point. And the manager, Dave Roberts, did say, though, that he didn't want to push him too far with the pitch count.
Yeah.
And so I think he threw about 66 pitches, maybe 67.
But then
66.
but then you saw when Kershaw was taken out of the game, you could see he was not happy with the decision to take him out of the game.
He's never happy when he leaves
No,
the
he
game.
isn't.
And that's a sign of an all-star pitcher,
Of a
someone
gamer.
of a gamer that
Yeah.
always wants the ball. But he did understand, and you gotta expect for him to go much further next time when he pitches
Next
in New
time
York.
out, I expect him to maybe go 7+ innings if he keeps his pitch count low.
And he's going to be pitching in New York against
is
the
the first.
Yankees, first time.
First time, yeah.
This is quite a moment to see Clayton Kershaw on the mound at Yankee Stadium.
And the Yankees are a very young team with young hitters, so it'll be interesting to see if Kershaw can take advantage of the youth of the Yankees and hopefully pitch very well for a Dodgers win.
I think he loves facing. That's a great point. I think he loves facing inexperienced ball players like the Yankees. You're right; they are a very young team, and so I don't think he's the type of guy that's really nervous going into a big game situation. He
That's
probably
why you
thrives
see
on
him
it.
dominate against the Padres, Diamondbacks, the Rockies, because they aren't that experienced teams, and the teams doesn't really have chemistry together since every single year it's a turnaround. Each team is different.
What
Yeah,
I'm
they
most
always feel like they're rebuilding, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
What I'm most excited to see about his matchup at Yankee Stadium is actually the matchup of Clayton Kershaw versus Gary Sanchez. Have you heard about Gary
The
Sanchez?
hot
yeah.
hitter, the hot
This
hitter for the
young-
Yankees.
Yeah, last night they tried to intentionally walk him, and on the fourth pitch he almost hit it to the warning track.
on an intentional
An
walk,
intentional
right?
walk. But Gary Sanchez is very impressive, especially for a catcher. He will probably move to first base or third base by the end of his career because that's what most catchers end up doing. But I feel like if Kershaw ends up hanging a pitch, Gary Sanchez can hit it.
He has a hard swing,
Yes.
which really generates a lot of velocity. And, that's very interesting for a rookie. How many home runs did he have this month? He said like a...
Nine? I think it's nine.
Nine like that.
In August.
In August, that was
He's
it.
got 13 on the season.
Yeah.
He's just got called up. So that's a matchup I'm very excited to see. Clayton Kershaw versus Gary Sanchez at Yankee Stadium.
Only thing I'm wondering about that matchup is Sanchez. I don't know how he'll pitch against a good lefty pitcher. Mm-hmm. Most of his home runs have been against righties, not lefties. So it'll be interesting to see how he can adjust to Kershaw if he does at all.
Absolutely.
a good point, yeah.
It's a very astute analysis. Now, we talked about Clayton Kershaw returning. Andre Ethier.
Oh god, I feel bad about this one.
Hunter's got to eat some crow on this one a little bit.
I have been on record saying I did not think we were going to see Andre Ethier in any Dodger uniform again on the show in the seat. I was wrong. Welcome back, Andre. Went 0 for 3 today. Tough day, but good to have him back. I'm still wondering the role he's going to play with the Dodgers. I think we talked about this. He'll probably be off the bench a little bit. They'll platoon him a little bit.
Yeah, I think he will be not a postseason roster, but I think he will be a veteran presence for the rest of the season that can help with the young players on the team.
So I'm going to walk that one halfway back. If he doesn't make the postseason, the call-ups, then I was half right, half wrong. We're going to go with that way.
That's a good point because losing A.J. Ellis, who was that veteran presence, he could be a little
See,
bit of it.
With A.J. Ellis,
He doesn't like that.
he was a team leader, but that role can easily be passed down to somebody else, which he did pass down to Justin Turner, which since Justin Turner's become the team leader in the clubhouse, the Dodgers became first place in the NL West. So it's.
I think you're a
think
future
it's actually-
GM over here. I think you're a future general manager. You have no problems cutting a guy and saying, next man up. I like it.
Now, Matthew and Benjamin, I got a question for each of you.
Yes.
Tell me who your favorite Dodgers player is currently.
That'd be hard. I'd have to go with Kershaw because he's Kershaw. He's the
He's a good
best
man.
player in the MLB.
Good pick.
Probably in the last 10 years.
Okay.
So.
Okay, Clayton Kershaw, yeah.
Mine go Seager, Kershaw, or Turner, just for all different reasons. I feel like
So you have 3?
because I feel like Turner's just more of a leader than most players are,
Sure.
and Kershaw's the best pitcher arguably in the last 20 years. Like,
Wow.
Like,
Over Pedro Martinez?
his ERA is lower.
It's fine.
Okay, we'll take it.
Okay.
We accept
And
that.
Seager's just the young powerhouse of the Dodgers at the
Do
moment.
you have a favorite Dodgers moment?
Oh, that'd be
That's
hard.
hard. Yeah, that's a hard one.
Let it simmer, and I'll come back to you if you do. I just want to hear about your favorite moment as a Dodgers fan. We've had ours, and they're different.
Well, I
so-
wasn't even born yet, but I rewatch the 4 home run. No, I was born. What am I talking about? I always just take like a day to just rewatch the 4 home runs in a row and then the walk off from Nomar Garciaparra over and over again because it's just such an awesome moment.
That's right. That is.
I'd have to probably go with Kershaw's no-hitter because Vince Scully called that whole entire game. And it probably is the last no-hitter he will ever call. If we're going by what'll probably
Hopefully
happen.
not.
Hopefully not.
But that leads us into the biggest topic of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich Hill.
Rich Hill.
Yes, Rich Hill.
They have some very good opinions about Rich
Right.
Hill.
So Rich Hill has been electric all season. He's
Yes.
just recently started pitching for the Dodgers. He's only thrown a few games, and this week he was pitching masterfully. He had a perfect game going through into the seventh or
Going
into
into
the
the seventh inning, he had a perfect game through 89 pitches, and then Dave Roberts
Dave
pulled him.
Roberts came to the mound, pulled him, decided that the blister issue may be acting up and didn't want to take a chance.
Right, we didn't find that out until today. We didn't
Yeah, we
know
did not.
what the reason was.
I
why.
assumed it was the blister because that would probably be the only reason available there. And even if he has had elbow issues in the past, so I just wouldn't take a chance on his arm getting hurt throwing 120 pitches in the game.
That's
Yeah.
a really good point. You know, there's 20 games left in the season. And at this point, as we know, the starting rotation for the Dodgers has been held together by twigs and gum, my favorite analogy, which I've said multiple times. And now is the time we really need to save arms and save innings. And this has just been a difficult period, and we know Rich Hill's had this problem with the blister before, and it looked like it was probably him, Roberts and Honey got talked it over. They're like, we think it's coming back. There's inside information that we don't know.
Yeah,
All we know
yeah.
is they thought it was coming back. And Dave Roberts was even on record after the game saying, I'm sick to my stomach. I probably won't sleep tonight thinking about this, but I had to do what's best for the club. Yeah. And these are the types of decisions, the tough decisions you have to make as a manager.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I support my manager in this decision, and I stick by him, especially from a rookie manager
See,
having
the
the
difference
foresight to see
between
this.
Roberts and Mattingly would have kept him in and got him injured.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Also, another interesting thing I saw was Hill's quote right after the game was, "We all know what we want,"
Ooh, that's interesting.
which I'm guessing is World Series.
Yeah, and Hill right now.
I hope so.
Hill
Right
right
now-
now is their best pitcher.
No,
Oh, yeah.
technically,
19
at the moment,
scoreless innings.
I would say, guys, currently that Rich Hill is the best pitcher in baseball.
He might At this
That's
moment, he might
My
be.
might be.
opinion at this point on
he's
this
up
season.
there in lefty pitchers. I don't know about.
It's funny because
overall.
I remember being here discussing with you at the trade deadline. I think it was our first show together, and you were like, "Rich Hill should be the biggest priority the Dodgers find for the trade line."
And
Here we are.
I never thought that would come true the way it
got-
has.
and
19
we got decent-
scoreless innings.
We got a
Wow.
decent outfielder and Josh Reddick with that too. So
Yeah.
And he finally starting to heat up Josh Reddick.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Fine.
playing good defense too. He made a very
That's-
good catch.
In my
today.
opinion, that's his specialty as an
bread and butter.
outfielder is the arm and fielding.
Yeah, he covers a lot of ground out
He's
there,
the
doesn't
same
he?
as Puig in right field. He goes all out in every play.
Okay, I want to stop for a second and talk about Yasiel Puig for a minute because you're wearing his shirt. He's recently been returned to the major league team. We've talked about him endlessly on this program. Where do you guys stand? Where do the young fans stand on
I
Puig?
think people are way too harsh on Puig. I think
Okay.
the only reason Puig didn't succeed these last 2 years when he was on the slump is because people had so much pressure on him. I don't think he believed he could succeed and pass those expectations.
Listen, this is my one thing is no Juan Uribe, no Hanley Ramirez.
That's a good point.
Those were
yeah.
two people that
Yeah.
brought him up when he was down. When he was playing bad, they support him. And another thing was Juan Uribe and Hanley Ramirez were like Puig's best friends in the clubhouse. Like every photo you saw was them together.
It's tough when you come from Cuba and you don't
Yeah.
know the English language,
Yes.
and like as you guys said, like Hanley and Juan spoke Spanish, I think
And
both of them-
English.
and English, and they kind of helped him, get integrated with the club. And then when they left, he had nobody.
So you think he's just a little bit alone and not having any
Not
guidance?
anymore. Like now he has Urias, De Leon, who both can communicate with him in both languages if they need to.
And also Carlos Ruiz is probably a great presence for him at the moment.
Right. Well, Puig's a very colorful player, and it was certainly, I think, a slap in the face to him when he got sent down to. He was embarrassed.
think
he was a
so.
little bit. Oh, okay.
He said
Okay.
he said he was upset about it, but he understood the decision.
You don't think he had to say that?
I don't think he had to say that.
Okay.
Hey
Because
guys,
his agents,
Matthew,
usually, yeah.
Benjamin, would you have sent them down if you were
Yes.
in charge?
yes.
Yeah, both. Okay.
I would have sent him down to AA.
Wow. Oh, I know what type of manager.
For one reason, if he's gonna get hot again, he needs to face against lower competition. He needs to be able to get in that feel of hitting home runs, hitting doubles, and getting base hits. If you're going to play again in AAA, even though he was tearing the ball up in AAA, he would have been like at that moment I would have signed in AA instead of AAA just because of trying to get a hot bat back.
So you really think a lot of it with Puig is mental?
It is a lot mental.
You really want to
almost
boost
always.
his confidence by letting him take advantage of some of the
Fans
younger.
still love him when he comes up to the plate. They all yell Puig.
Sure.
I think he's also finally healthy because he was
Yeah.
dealing with those hamstring issues. So
I
he's
think he
finally
still
like,
does. I think he still does deal with the hamstring.
It's an interesting point, though, that he brings up about going to AA because I thought Jacques last year should have got sent
Yeah.
down.
Oh,
Yeah.
When he was...
No,
Stinking
he
it up.
should've.
Yeah, when he was just
Do you
struggling
know what
and
messed it up
struggling.
last year? It's him going into the home run derby.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Well,
Well,
my
he was
whole
already slumping, and then he just went...
But why my thing about Jock is where did his speed go?
It's a good point. And the Dodgers, aside from Andrew Toles, have
It's like they
no
ran
speed.
away from they ran away from Jock Peterson's speed.
I agree with you, absolutely, because... no, we've talked about it on the show, that with Toles has a lot of speed.
my-
Peterson has good speed.
When Toles was drafted, he was the first player out of college to have an 80 speed rating on the 20 to 80 scale.
wow.
Yet they don't
Drop in
run.
knowledge.
They
Yeah,
don't-
they don't run. Yeah.
They don't steal. They don't hit and run. The Dodgers don't hit and run at all.
It's
Don't even bunt.
It's extremely surprising.
Adrian
that-
Gonzalez had
it's
a bunt last week.
It's extremely surprising that they don't hit and run or run as much, especially when you look at who their manager is.
Yeah.
You would think
The
that
guy
a
with
team,
the stolen base in the playoffs.
you would
you
think
know?
with a manager such as Dave Roberts that would be one of the very most ingrained kind of features of this baseball team, but they don't do that, which is surprising. Let's move along to talk about the bold and the beautiful.
So we have fun discussing Dodger games, but I want to take a special shout out to Kike Hernandez, who this week came out accepted a guest role on The Bold and the Beautiful. And why not, Kike? We'll support you.
Yeah.
Go for it, buddy. You're not getting much playing time right now, so
He's in LA.
on to your other endeavors. You work that Hollywood angle.
You're under the Mendoza line. Might as well. You know?
Right, exactly. And speaking of TV stars, we have our own here in studio, but also in the history of television, it's never been so funny, so dramatic, or so good. Think about the shows that are on this season. There's House of Cards, Modern Family, Downtown Abbey, Game of Thrones. What else? Blackish, which I love.
I love that show.
Yeah. Homeland, Better Call Saul, Veep, Transparent, Silicon Valley. I covered that show on AfterBuzz. Mr. Robot, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. We could keep going. Best Friends, whatever. I mean, really, television's golden age is right now. Oh, yeah? Don't forget The Americans, Transparent, and Master of None. And on Sunday, September 18th, you guys know what that is? You know what's going on September 18th?
This is a big award show, right?
A big award show. That's right. Television's greatest night. It's the biggest live event of the year. And you can watch the show that celebrates great television. The Emmy Awards. That's right. September 18th, next Sunday. There's no better night to watch the best of the best face off and see if your favorite shows win. Plus, you can see what everyone's wearing on the red carpet. Who looks as hot in real life as they do on their shows? That's what I want to know. So be there when one of the funniest men on television, Jimmy Kimmel, would you agree he's one of the funniest men on television?
Oh, yeah.
Matt Damon won't be appearing. Host the Emmys live Sunday, September 18th at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ABC. All right, now that we did that, that's the business. That's something we have to do to keep this show free. So, again, watch the Emmys next Sunday night, September 18th, and we'll still be here, so watch us as well. Let's get back to our show. I want to talk to you guys, Benjamin and Matthew, a little bit about the Dodgers. All right, and then I want to talk to you guys about your show. So, what has been a favorite game this year or a favorite moment of this Dodgers season currently?
I have one.
Please.
Okay, in the Matt Moore no-hitter through the ninth, when Corey Singer,
the single.
hit the blooper single into right field, that was a great moment.
What did you actually do when that happened?
I was in the stadium,
Okay.
so
It was like the Dodgers threw a no hitter. It was like they were hitting a walk-off home run to clinch the
Oh, people
pennant.
went crazy.
It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. They were going nuts just on one base hit.
That's a little sad. But it was a long night. It was a long night for
But I
Dodger
also
fans.
feel like
It's against the Giants.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like anytime the Dodgers are against the Giants, anything to get a hit or get a home run or get an RBI.
Or ruin a no-hitter.
Yeah, do anything to make the Giants feel bad.
I agree.
Dodgers fans love.
How many Dodgers
sure.
games have you guys attended this season?
I don't
16
know.
or 17?
Wow.
Question mark.
Okay.
True Dodger fans over here.
There you go. Yeah.
I have season tickets and I don't go to that many games.
Would you say this year has been successful so far?
Okay.
Disappointing?
So the
Where
first
we
half
stand?
was very disappointing.
Okay.
I thought that with Roberts as the new manager, they would have more success in the running game, the advancing runners and getting runs. But in the second half, they called up Tolles. He became a main part of the offense, and I feel like the second half has been a much better scenario for the Dodgers, where they're hitting more. They're focusing on getting base hits, not hitting home runs every at bat.
I agree, especially with Tolles. He's hitting 352
Yeah.
since coming over. 32 games, so it's a pretty good sample size now.
3 home runs,
It is.
14 RBIs. He's doing it.
He's not even a home run hitter.
Yeah, I think a 417 on base percentage. Now here's the question: why is he not hitting leadoff when he's in the lineup?
Do we want Jake Chase out of that spot right now? He's
I feel
kind of
like-
holding it down.
Well, I want Chase in that spot because of just the Chase to Seager type combo type thing, because they both
Get on base.
If they get on base back to back, then you got Turner Gonzalez.
I mean, with that sense too, if Tolles gets on base, you still have the same
Yeah.
lineup going on. But I don't want to really. I think the top of the order for the Dodgers really isn't a problem.
I think I'd rather have
right now.
Tolles at the bottom of the lineup for that extra.
Bottom eighth, kind of like that
Boost.
second leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like him there too.
Do you guys? What do you think of? Because we've seen managers toy with this, putting the pitcher in the 8th spot when Tolles
I
is in the
prefer-
lineup.
It depends
And then
I
putting Tolles in the
prefer it for
9th.
one reason. I only prefer it because you get your. I count the 9 as a leadoff hitter if you're playing your pitcher 8th, because that is like an extra leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Then you get the top of your lineup who you're guaranteeing you're trusting to get hits.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love when they do that. The Giants do it when Bumgarner's in the lineup, I believe.
He's
Yeah.
such a good hitter.
Well, no, they don't put him in 8. I think they put him in 6 now.
Do they put him at? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he is their best
Because
hitter right
people
now.
forgot. People forgot
that, Giants.
players used to put their pitchers earlier in the lineup. Like, everybody forgot that until a couple years ago when
Well,
that you were able to put your pitcher earlier in the lineup.
of course. In the early days, the pitchers were great hitters.
Well, Babe Ruth
Babe
was a
Ruth.
pitcher.
Exactly. Look at you.
The
Wise
Dodgers
man
are one of
years.
the best hitting teams for pitchers. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just a fact. Even
It
Kershaw
is.
can rake a little bit. So
So speaking of the Giants, which we brought up here, the Dodgers stand 3 games up on the Giants in the NL West. Do we think at this point that the Dodgers are going to win the division?
I feel like they'll at least make the playoffs.
Okay.
My one problem is by the time we get to the Giants, we have to be at least 5 games up.
I agree with that. There's 20 games left in the season,
We
and
play them
that's
6 more
kind of
times.
only 3 games up. That's kind of scary. It's still kind of like I don't want to say a lifetime away,
But-
but it's there's still baseball left to be played where
Technically,
you
we're-
can give up that lead.
4.5 games ahead for a
The wild card?
postseason spot.
Okay.
Sure. But I'm talking about
So-
division. Do we think that the Dodgers win
I
the
think
division?
it's 70% likely.
With the way they've been
Love it.
hitting, yeah.
What about you, Matthew?
I don't want to say anything because I don't see any wood around here to knock on,
Okay.
so I'm
Oh,
not.
just do what we do. Knock on the head.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I think they have a really good shot, especially with the way they've been hitting this week. We got a little fun stuff for you. The Dodgers hit 11 home runs this week in 6
Wow.
games.
That's good.
Starting with Greinke Monday night,
Well, most of them
Wednesday
came
night,
off of
Thursday.
Greinke.
Yeah.
So
That's true, but then they did hit 5. Later Tuesday didn't have any, but then they did hit 5 through Wednesday through Friday, or sorry,
Oh,
Wednesday
and
through
I
Sunday.
saw an
So
interesting fact. Dodgers can get 5 players to hit 20 home runs this season.
they absolutely can. Who's banging on that 20 now? Adrian Gonzalez.
It's Aegon.
Aegon.
He's hit like 16.
So what do we got? We got Grandal, Jock,
Seager.
Justin.
Yeah, and then the 5th would be
Gonzalez. Oh God, they're leading the majors in
But
home
it-
runs, right? They have to be.
No,
No, they're
not.
I think the
Cardinals
Cubs
do.
are. Cubs,
Cubs
Cardinals.
are. You're right. He's absolutely right. The
Pesky
Cubs are.
Cubs.
And the Cardinals are up there because they had that streak of
And
37
the Padres
games?
also. Padres also had a long streak of
I
home
think
runs.
Boston's hit a ton of home runs.
Boston too.
Boston's
Yeah.
hit a ton of
The
home
Cardinals had that ridiculous streak going on. I think it was like 37
Well,
straight
you got a
games.
good
Oh,
point.
wow.
Boston probably does have the most because you think about it, Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, David Ortiz, Travis Shaw. They have a ton of power hitters in the lineup that are not necessarily power hitters, but they hit the ball out of the ballpark.
So let me ask you guys a question. Let's say the playoffs were tomorrow. What
Yeah.
team do you not want to face?
the Cubs.
The Cubs? Yeah.
I would prefer
Cubs.
the Cubs over any team in the any team in the NL.
So
Okay,
which team do
actually-
you want to face then?
But actually, I
face the
got
Cubs. I
one
wanna
more
face the
team.
Cubs.
I got one more team that I would not want to face.
Okay.
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Yeah, they always seem to be the Dodger killer.
I
for
want to
whatever
face the
reason.
Cubs. I don't want to face the Cardinals.
So you want to face the Cubs,
And I have a good reasoning for that.
Benjamin. Matthew don't want to face the Cubs. Okay, we're gonna have to keep that in mind. and
I
see
What's
what
your
wanna-
happens.
reasoning?
Okay, the reasoning is Ken Rosenthal did a MLB
Sure.
MLB Now segment last week on MLB Now, yeah, and he was trying to focus on how the Cubs play against teams over 500 and the teams in the postseason. So against teams under 500, they have a 1.61 ERA. Over 500, a 5.3.
I think you need to come up here and sit in my seat.
But also,
too.
the batting averages dramatically drop against teams over 500. I think it's the thought of them facing weaker teams. If they face weaker teams, they can kill them. But if they face teams that make them have competition, it brings pressure onto them.
Well, I think that would be a
To me,
general.
as long as the
theme.
Cubs do not make the World Series or win a World Series, I'm good. So
Is there any specific reason you just like the curse of 1908, or is there? A reason?
the Billy Goat must live on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I like this.
A little ruthless there. I want to talk about what's coming up this week for the Dodgers. They're going to get another matchup with Zach Greinke, and
I think he's going to bring it.
and it's a big week with the New York Yankees, of course.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to you guys about. You guys are currently in the second season is airing of Best Friends Whatever on the Disney Channel, and you guys are both part of the series. And then you guys came with an important PSA campaign that you guys are a part of, the Choose Kindness campaign, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And so I want to hear from you guys more about it and tell us.
So the Choose Kindness campaign is a campaign run by Disney and ABC,
Okay.
and it's a campaign to help kids and adults also fight anti-bullying
Sure.
in general. You can go to disney.com/beinspired to sign up for a grant. And they also have multiple websites there to help the fight against bullying.
Okay, and that's disney.com/beinspired to find
And
out
then
more.
for our second season,
Sure.
we finished filming season 2, but starting the first week of October, we're gonna have 5 new episodes, and they call it Monstober because we got a Halloween episode in there. So it's gonna be really exciting.
So they call it Monstober.
Yeah.
Awesome.
see what they did there.
Starting the first week of October, we can see new episodes
Yes.
as part of Monstober of Best Friends Whatever.
Yes.
And has it been a blast filming?
Oh, it's been such a blast. It's one of the greatest experiences we have ever had in
Yeah.
our lives.
That sounds beautiful. So, Monstober's coming up the first week of October. They can catch new episodes of Best Friends Whatever on the Disney Channel.
Yes,
And if
on
we
the
want to
Disney
learn
Channel.
more about anti-bullying, which we all believe in, and the Choose Kindness campaign, we can find out more at disney.com/beinspired.
Yes.
I want to bring something up quick. I
Please.
want each of you guys to give me your postseason rotation.
Oh, much
Oh,
better. I
wow. Oh, bring it back to baseball
I was
here.
worried he was going to ask me to give him my job. Postseason rotation.
4 pitchers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, why don't we start?
I'll
Did you
start.
get- yeah.
Kershaw first, Hill second. Well, I don't know. I'd like to actually go Kershaw, Maeda, Hill. I like the lefty, righty, lefty. And then I'm no joke. I think I might go De Leon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I really do. I like Urias a lot.
Nice pronunciation, too, by the way.
I like the way you pronounce it.
I've been told it's the proper
It's
enunciation.
quite elegant.
It's the half Mexican in me. But I trust, for some reason, I actually trust De Leon more than
He's more mature.
And yeah, he is. He's a little
He's
older.
more mature, and he doesn't have that breaking ball that he can hang and people can hit.
And I like him coming out of the bullpen.
Yes,
I like him.
definitely.
Remember, this team reminds me a lot, and I hate to say this because I hate the Angels. They remind me of that 2002 Angel team a little bit.
Rally monkey.
You know, the Rally Monkey team, where they brought up Francisco Rodriguez at the end of the year, and all he was doing was coming in, throwing gas, and he was getting guys out, all the time because there wasn't enough book on him. And I think Urias can be that guy for the Dodgers, and I like De Leon as the starter. I really do. I like Brock Stewart's been solid, but he's not an overpowering pitcher. I don't trust that in the playoffs.
Isn't
What
Don't
about
know.
Alex Wood?
He hasn't pitched in so long. It's just
And
so
I-
many
I-
questions.
and if I don't
care
trust
about
any
Ross
guy-
Stripling.
He could be a long reliever.
Yeah, I like Stripling out
Yeah,
of the
we
pen.
got playing. Yeah. I actually don't disagree with any of that. For the sake of the argument, maybe I would put Urias, I don't have the pronunciation like you, over De Leon, but that's just for the sake of the argument.
Yeah.
I actually like that rotation a lot, what you just said. So.
I like that. I'm going to agree with you, but I would definitely have Rich Hill slotted second.
You think it was lefty? You'd go lefty,
Over
right?
Maeda?
I think
Yeah.
I'd start with Maeda.
Really?
Maeda?
If the Dodgers are on wild card, I'd start with Maeda. Then I go Kershaw Hill.
I think it depends who we're
Would
pitching
you have?
to.
So you're saying, but you would like Kenta in a wild
I
card
would
game, playing game?
No. If it was a wild card game, I'd have Kershaw pitch.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
But if we're going by division, I'd start with Maeda. Because you might as well have Kershaw pitch that game if you lose the first game.
So you want him as your
You want him as the
fallback.
guy to get you the win.
So for me, and I think it just goes along with what I've talked about since I've been a part of the show, that I would want Rich Hill pitching as much as possible.
Yes, of course.
And whether or not, who knows how much you can pitch with the hand and the blister issues. But I would definitely, normally I would like to separate the lefties, but in this scenario, I think if you can have Kershaw and Hill as your 1-2, I think you got to go with it the whole time as your 1-2.
This is my
But tell us, yeah,
postseason?
please.
I'd go Kershaw, De Leon,
Oh.
Hill, Maeda.
Why
like
is
it.
this in De Leon
Separate
in
the
there?
lefties.
In that second? Okay.
But why De Leon second, not Maeda? Just curious.
I feel like Maeda would be better as a fallback option.
Interesting.
De Leon, I feel like can go longer innings than
Well,
Maeda.
also note that we only go with a 4-man rotation if you're getting into the 7-game
Of
series.
course.
So
Yeah.
it's an interesting.
And I feel
question.
like if you're 2 games up in the division series, maybe throw Ross Stripling for that. If you're leading 2-0, maybe throw Ross Stripling because I feel like we can trust him enough now, where he can throw 5 shutout innings.
Yeah.
We have seen enough. I trust him more than Stewart.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Stewart's a great story. I know we talked about it a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Not enough experience yet.
Yeah, coming from single A up to the majors, but
He could be a good 5 later.
yeah,
That's fair.
later on in his career. But right now, I just don't trust him only because, like I said, he's not an overpowering guy. He's a kind of paint the corners,
Finesse.
kind of work. He has to work to get guys out. And in the playoffs, you got to watch it because those like we saw last year with Brett Anderson, those guys can get hammered hard
Yeah.
if they're
Quickly.
quickly if they're not on point.
That's the one thing with Kazmir. That's all he trusts in his pitching is hitting his spots. And when he doesn't hit his spots, they crush him.
And everything is magnified in the playoffs.
Yeah.
As we know. And the playoffs are coming shortly. Just a few more
They
weeks
are.
until October's here. Monstober's here.
He brought up Kazmir. Kazmir more than likely not pitching again this year.
No, he isn't.
Is he? He's
not-
done
Is
for
that
sure.
official?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
He's out.
in his one Rancho Cucamonga start, he threw a third of an inning, two walks, 2 hit by pitch, and a 3-run homer.
This doesn't sound good.
No.
Not
I
good.
feel like I could do that if I literally went out there
Yeah.
and just threw the ball.
So quickly, let's talk about the upcoming week ahead. We have, as we talked about, we have the Yankees. It's a big series in New York, and then again in the Diamondbacks. What are we looking for out of the Dodgers? Let's start
Well,
with Matthew and Ben.
I'm gonna go with in the Yankees series first. Yankees, the pitchers that are gonna throw against us are young pitchers. I feel like Dodgers can capitalize on that with especially Agon and Justin Turner. I feel like they can lead the team to believe that they can hit off of these guys that have a ton of talent, but they're just not ready for the big spotlight yet. And then in the Diamondback series, I want to try to throw, because it's the lower half of the rotation. Well, like, it would be Hill Maeda. Would it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd
you're
probably
right.
be Hill Maeda Kershaw.
Hill
No.
it's we got 4
Hill Maeda.
In New York?
De Leon
Is it a
and
3-game
Urias.
series
We got
this
4 against the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
4 in the
And
Diamondbacks,
versus
3 in the
the
Yankees.
Okay.
So Hill
And he's
Maeda.
right. It's you're right. It's Hill, Maeda, De Leon, and Urias would be
Yeah.
the 4 guys going
In Arizona.
in Arizona.
And the only 2 guys I'm hoping will pitch good is the first 2 games of Yankees and the last 2 games of Diamondbacks.
Well, you want the 3rd game to pitch good against the Yankees. That's when Kershaw goes.
So what do you think is good? Do we still 2 from the Yankees? Would that be like 2 and 1?
I would like 2 from the Yankees. Giants at least lose one of those.
Yeah.
At least.
yeah.
And
then-
Diamondbacks, we should win at least
We
3.
should. I would
sweep
love
them,
to sweep the
personally.
Diamondbacks.
I'm telling you though, Zach Greinke, we all know he had a bad game on Monday, and that is just not. That's not
He didn't
typical.
have a.
It's a Chase Field environment.
That's
It's a
not.
Diamondback environment.
And believe me, it
went with the
hated me
money.
to see for me to see him go. But somebody tells me, just knowing and having seen him pitch for 3 years for the Dodgers, he's a gamer, and he's not going to forget Monday night. He's going to bring it. I think
No,
we're.
he
I think
is.
we're going to see a stellar Zach Greinke pitching performance. So hopefully the Dodgers can match that. So,
I hope the Dodgers can manufacture runs if that's the case.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you where we're definitely going to see a stellar performance all of us are back next week for another stellar performance of Dodgers Rap 360. Matthew Royer, Benjamin Royer, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Do you guys have social media?
Do you guys have
handles?
someone?
Yes.
Where can they find you?
You can follow me at the Ben Royer on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat.
At the Ben Royer. And you,
You
Matthew?
can follow me at the Matthew Royer on Instagram and Twitter.
At the Matthew Royer.
Love it.
I love it. And Monstober comes up in October. We can
Yes.
follow the Disney.com anti-bullying campaign, Disney.com/be inspired. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank
It's
you.
been a
Thank
pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
very
Come
much.
back.
Come back
Please come
anytime.
back.
Maybe
Love
for the
having you
playoffs.
here. Don't steal my job.
love
Maybe
to.
I'll get rid of them.
Yeah.
You'll sit here. No, just kidding. Thank you guys for real. It's been a
Thank
pleasure
you.
having your thoughts and inside
Thank you
scoop.
for having us.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
been a
Dodger
pleasure.
baseball, no doubt about it.
And what about my co-host, guys? Where can we find you and your names?
Huntsman on Instagram, Hunter_Marks on Twitter. Tweet me.
I am at Gersh13 on both, and let me give a special shout out to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Absolutely.
You can. I have cystic fibrosis, so I'm a big supporter of the foundation, and they are cff.org.
CFF.org.
So we need to. I have to raise money in October for a gala.
Monstober.
So, yeah, for Monstober.
We can benefit everyone.
Yeah. So if you can find me as Smiling Politely.
Smiling politely. Okay,
And
interesting.
it's an obscure Simpsons reference.
Got it.
Okay.
And again, my name is Michael Rippey. You can find me on social media at Mike Rips. One last time, never forget, it's 9/11. We celebrate our freedoms today, and
Yes.
remember everyone that's lost. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time. on
Thanks,
Dodgers Rap
guys.
360.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.